Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth Meir and today we're going to be talking about Kohlberg and Kohlberg's theory of moral development. But first I'd like to give you a brief definition of what is moral development. Moral development is the process through which children develop proper attitudes and behaviors towards people in society based on social and cultural norms as well as rules and laws. Who was Lawrence Kohlberg? Lawrence Kohlberg was born in New York on October 25th, 1927. He was a well-known American psychologist, and he was also known for his theory in moral development. Lawrence Kohlberg became so fascinated with moral development that he was devoted to the exploration of the moral development of youth and adolescents, and that's what we're going to be learning about today. Lawrence Kohlberg was also influenced by psychologist Jean Piaget. Lawrence Kohlberg agreed with Piaget's theory of moral development, but he wanted to go further into his research, and so he developed his own theory. And Kohlberg's theory contained 3 levels and 6 stages. This is just a brief chart of the levels and stages. As you can see, there's the 3 levels, and underneath each level there's 2 stages. And we'll get into that a little bit sooner. How did Kohlberg develop his theories? One of the ways that he developed his theories was through stories. He would do storytellings, and then he would interview people just to see what they would do and what their reaction was. And this is how he developed his moral development theory. One of the famous stories that he told was Heinz' Dilemma, and I'll read that to you as you can see on the screen. Heinz' Dilemma was about a woman in Europe, and she was near death from a special kind of cancer. There was one drug that the doctors thought might save her. It was a form of radium that a druggist in the same town had recently discovered. The drug was expensive to make, but the druggist was charging 10 times what the drug cost him to make. He paid $200 for the radium and charged $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get together about $1,000, which was only half the cost. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or let him pay him later. But the druggist said, "Nope, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money from it." So Heinz got desperate and broke into the pharmacist's store to steal the drug for his wife. Should the husband have done that? And we'll look into this, and this is how Kohlberg developed his moral development theory. Level 1 is your pre-conventional level, and under that you have 2 stages. And stage 1 is obedience and punishment. This is often seen in young children, mostly elementary age. Children assume that all rules must be followed in order to avoid punishment. As a child, most young children, they know that they have the choice to make the right choice or else they're going to be punished. And most children do not want to be punished. And a lot of these rules and morals are instilled in a child through a parent, through a teacher, or another adult. How can we relate this to the Heinz dilemma? Heinz should not have stolen the medicine because it is against the law. And if he were to steal the medicine, he would probably go to jail, and that would be his punishment. So if he did steal it, he would have a consequence to pay, and if he did not steal it, he would avoid that punishment. Stage 2 under level 1 is individualism and exchange. Children realize that rules are obeyed for one's own benefit. This is where children start to think about, what is in it for me? What can I get out of everything? So punishment is only a consequence that many want to avoid, but a lot of the times they start to think about things and start to think about how or what they can do and how is that going to benefit them in that area. So how can we relate that to Heinz' dilemma? Stealing the medicine is what was best for Heinz. This is what would make him happy. Level 2, conventional. Stage 3, good interpersonal relationships. This developmental stage usually begins in teens and young adults. Society's expectation and approval play a role in one's behavior and or action. A lot of the times, they're viewed as good. You know, we start to want to build that reputation of a good person. How can, you know, what can I do in order for others to see me as good? We start to develop our own thoughts, and a lot of the times those thoughts and those thinkings and those morals are what's going to benefit us, and people always want to be viewed as the good person. So how can we relate this to Heinz' dilemma? Heinz should steal the drug because that is what his wife would want, and he would then be seen as the good husband. Stage 4, maintaining the social order. Decisions are made only based on approval, do not want to cause problems, want to maintain social order, and obey the laws. A lot of the times under this stage, maintaining the social order, permission is usually asked. It could be through a boss, it could be asked permission to a teacher, you know, wanting to make the right choices without breaking any of the laws. So how can we relate this to Heinz' dilemma? Heinz should not steal the drug because this would be seen as breaking the law. We can go further into that. If he were to steal the drug and break the law, it would cause chaos, and we would not keep that social order. And that's something under this stage we want to be able to maintain social order. Level 3, post-conventional. Stage 5, social contract and individual rights. Under this stage, people develop their own beliefs and their own morals. By that time, we have our own sense of thinking. We've developed our own thoughts, our own beliefs, and morals are for the good of others, not just for oneself. We start to look beyond what is good for just ourselves, and we start to look at what's good for other people. Also can be compared to human rights, to the laws. We can compare human rights to the laws. Equality, decisions made will benefit the majority. It's, like I said before, it's not what's just going to benefit us, but what's going to benefit others. So for Heinz' dilemma, we can compare that. Even though it is wrong to steal the drug, Heinz should steal the drug because his wife deserves to live. We start to think about human rights. You know, she deserves to live. So that's stage 5. Finally, stage 6, universal moral principles. Under this stage, laws are only valid if they are just for everyone. The right choice is based on a person's own morals. May choose to defy laws in order to help others, but many do not reach this stage. People will start to think, is this right? Is it not right? Even if it's not right, I might still do it, because what's important is the people and how it's affecting that person. So they might go beyond that stage and might defy laws. You have people that have fought for equal voting rights. You have educational rights. People have moved beyond that. Segregation. People have gone beyond the laws to be able to have equal rights for everyone. How can we relate this to Heinz' dilemma? Heinz should steal the drug because a human life is more important than any law. So these are the 6 stages of Kohlberg's moral development theory, and I want to leave you guys with a few questions. Do you think that it was right for Heinz to steal the drugs? What decision would you have made if you were in Heinz's place? And finally, which stage do you fall under? So those are some of the things that I'm going to leave you guys with, kind of give you some time to think about it and get back to me on these questions. Thank you.